So today I have a kickoff at work. I love kickoffs because you learn so much about what the heck this whole thing is about. Even though I get like the briefs and all that information ahead of time, hearing it from the horse's mouth and having them break down and seeing how like the teams and everyone asks questions to get more clarity, it helps me truly understand what this project is even about. So about this project, or what I can tell you about this project, is we do this campaign every quarter, right? So it has pretty much the same assets, give or take a few. It has the same channels in which it'll be executed with, and it has the same stakeholders. So this project is split amongst two stakeholders. One stakeholder is responsible for like the webinar side of this. So a webinar is pretty much when you attend something and there's like a presentation deck and somebody's probably talking and you're doing live Q&A and stuff like that. That's a webinar, but there's so many other moving parts in order to make that webinar come to life. The other side of this project is with a different stakeholder, and the focus is the sponsor opt-in. So there's a lot of different assets and stuff that are created for us to prepare or for them to pitch to sponsors, big brands, big names, or whatever the case may be, so that those brands, names, and companies can put our webinar in front of their clients and people and stuff like that. You know why I can't get specific. So we already had a kickoff for the side that I just talked about, like getting the sponsor opt-in. So now we're doing the kickoff for the actual webinar thing in itself. And so that, you can call it like another phase of the project. So that's what I'm preparing for today. And y'all already know where I'm about to go. OneNote. So after I done added a new page to OneNote, I go to Meeting Details. Meeting Details allows you to literally take the information from this meeting, right? And then it'll prepare the page with all the essential information in order for you to take adequate notes on the meeting. As you can see, it populated the meeting title, the date, the location, link to the meeting, even the message that was put in the invite. So this is the calendar invite that I sent to everyone that needed to attend, and then I make sure that I put the agenda in there, a brief overview of what it is, and then I also tell people like, hey, forward this to whoever I missed, because I'm just only human. And then you see it has the option to expand participants, which allows me to kind of take attendance. Like I can just put a check next to their name if they actually showed up. And now I'm going to show you how I format the notes that I'm going to take in this meeting. So this company does not have a template for meeting notes, which is hilarious because they have process docs and templates for like every single thing, but the meeting notes thing is like, do it however you want. And this is actually the first company that I've been a part of where I, as the project manager, is taking notes. Usually there's someone else doing that, but I guess the way this team is structured, it makes sense that I'm actually doing the notes. But I think that in my like software projects, when I'm in software development teams and I have like a business analyst and a developer and all that stuff, like the analyst is the one taking the notes. I don't do documentation. So this is what I came up with. I created my own little template. You see that I got action items at the top, and then I go into project overview. So like, what's the key theme, concept? What is this project about? Like for real. Then I want to know the deliverables. I'm very specific, like what's the asset and then how much of it. So as you see my examples, it'll say 1 video, 4 emails, 2 landing pages. And then for creative team, I want everyone to just know who's the people working on this. And because this is a webinar, which means there's speaking involved, I need to know the speaker, hence why I have that. And then as far as deadline, timeline, I want to make sure I know like, when does this need to be done? Like last day possible for this to be done, and then also any deadlines in between. So there's certain things in which we need to get opt-ins and check-ins by, and so I want to make sure I know those. And then of course we have risk and questions. So things that I may have seen, I'm going to go back through the brief again just to see if there was any questions that I had. I don't think I had, but things that I've seen, I would address here. And then also in the actual meeting, risk can potentially come up. So then I just, put them down there at the bottom. And so one of the reasons that I'm very detailed in the information that I gather from a meeting is because I don't like being bothered. Like, I do a lot of things so people can leave me alone. Like, I don't know why. Let me answer all your questions up front so nobody's coming and asking me for stuff later down the line. So these meeting notes, after I take them, directly in, hold on, I gotta show y'all. OneNote gives you the option to email this page, right? So when you click it, it'll email it to everyone that was attached to the meeting invite. And I just love that for me. Like, even if you didn't attend the meeting, because you were on the invite, you got the meeting note. I also go ahead and copy all of this in our Workfront, which is the project management software that we have. You can add updates in there. So I put it in there also just for visibility. Because if you don't know by now, I really don't want to be bothered, and I like a lot of things to be transparent. So if you come looking for me and checking to see if my I's are dotted and T's are crossed, you're gonna see that everything is together. So that's it for me preparing for the kickoff. Now I'm gonna go update the timeline because me and my supervisor need to go review it because there were a lot of things that were added last minute. So we want to make sure we're straight. If you notice in the invitation, I actually put the link to the timeline so people can kind of preview it. So I know that it's being looked at, but everybody knows that it's still a work in progress. So that's what I'm about to get going. And then after that, my day is pretty much done for as far as meetings. But as you can hear, the team's notifications are coming in. I'm still by that computer, y'all.